Stingrays are a group of sea rays, which are cartilaginous fish related to sharks. Many species are endangered. They are classified into 8 families: six-gill stingray, Deepwater stingray, stingarees, round rays, whiptail stingrays, river stingrays, butterfly rays and eagle rays. Stingrays are common in coastal tropical and subtropical marine waters throughout the world. Some species, such as whiptail stingrays, are found in warmer temperate oceans, and others, such as Deepwater stingray, are found in the deep ocean. The river stingrays and a number of whiptail stingrays are restricted to freshwater. Most meliabatoids are demersal, but some, such as the pelagic stingray and the eagle rays, are pelagic. The mouth of the stingray is located on the ventral side of the vertebrate. Stingrays exhibit diastolic jaw suspension, which allows for the upper jaw to have high mobility and protrude outward. The teeth are modified placoid scales that are regularly shed and replaced. In general, the teeth have a root implanted within the connective tissue, and a visible portion of the tooth is large and flat, allowing them to crush the bodies of hard-shelled prey. Male stingrays display sexual dimorphism by developing cusp or pointed ends to some of their teeth. During mating season, some stingray species fully change their tooth morphology, which then returns to baseline during non-mating seasons. Spiracles are small openings that allow some fish and amphibians to breathe. Stingray spiracles are openings just behind its eyes. The respiratory system of stingrays is complicated by having 2 separate ways to take in water to utilize the oxygen. Most of the time stingrays take in water using their mouth and then send the water through the gills for gas exchange. This is efficient, but the mouth cannot be used when hunting because the stingrays bury themselves in the ocean sediment and wait for prey to swim by. So the stingray switches to using its spiracles. With the spiracles, they can draw water free from sediment directly into their gills for gas exchange. These alternate ventilation organs are less efficient than the mouth since spiracles are unable to pull the same volume of water. However, it is enough when the stingray is quietly waiting to ambush its prey. The flattened bodies of stingrays allow them to effectively conceal themselves in their environments. Stingrays do this by agitating the sand and hiding beneath it. Because their eyes are on top of their bodies and their mouths on the undersides, stingrays cannot see their prey after capture. Instead, they use smell and electroreceptors similar to those of sharks. Stingrays settle on the bottom while feeding, often leaving only their eyes and tails visible. Coral reefs are favorite feeding grounds and are usually shared with sharks during high tide. During the breeding season, males of various stingray species such as round stingray may rely on their electroreceptors to sense certain electrical signals given off by mature females before potential mating. When a male is courting a female, he follows her closely, biting at her pectoral disc. He then places one of his 2 claspers into her valve. Reproductive ray behaviors are associated with their behavioral endocrinology. For example, in species such as Dasyutis sabina, social groups are formed first, then the sexes display complex courtship behaviors that end in pair copulation, which is similar to the species Urolophus hulleri. Furthermore, their mating period is one of the longest recorded in elasmobranch fish. Individuals are known to mate for 7 months before the females ovulate in March. During this time, the male stingrays experience increased levels of androgen hormones, which has been linked to its prolonged mating periods. The behavior expressed among males and females during specific parts of this period involves aggressive social interactions. Frequently, the males trail females with their snout near the female vent, then proceed to bite the female on her fins and her body. Although this mating behavior is similar to the species Urolophus hulleri, differences can be seen in the particular actions of Dasyutis sabina. Seasonal elevated levels of serum androgens coincide with the expressed aggressive behavior, which led to the proposal that androgen steroids start, induce, and maintain aggressive sexual behaviors in the male rays for this species, which drives the prolonged mating season. Similarly, concise elevations of serum androgens in females has been connected to increased aggression and improvement in mate choice. When their androgen steroid levels are elevated, they are able to improve their mate choice by quickly fleeing from tenacious males when undergoing ovulation, succeeding impregnation. This ability affects the paternity of their offspring by refusing less qualified mates. Stingrays are ovoviviparous, bearing live young in litters of 5 to 13. During this period, the female's behavior transitions to support of her future offspring. Females hold the embryos in the womb without a placenta. Instead, the embryos absorb nutrients from a yolk sac, and after the sac is depleted, the mother provides uterine milk. After birth, the offspring generally disassociate from the mother and swim away, having been born with the instinctual abilities to protect and feed themselves. In a very small number of species, like the freshwater whipray, the mother cares for her young by having them swim with her until they are 1/3 of her size. The stingray uses its paired pectoral fins for moving about. This is in contrast to sharks and most other fish, which get most of their swimming power from a single caudal fin. Stingray pectoral fin locomotion can be divided into two categories: undulatory and oscillatory. Stingrays who use undulatory locomotion have shorter, thicker fins for slower modal movements in benthic areas. Longer, thinner pectoral fins make for faster speeds in oscillation mobility in pelagic zones. Visually distinguishable oscillation has less than one wave going, opposed to undulation having more than one wave at all times. Stingrays employ a wide range of feeding strategies. Some have specialized jaws that allow them to crush hard mollusk shells, whereas others use external mouth structures called cephalic lobes to guide plankton into their oral cavity. Benthic stingrays who reside on the seafloor are ambush hunters. They wait until prey comes near, then use a strategy called tenting. With pectoral fins pressed against the substrate, the ray will raise its head, generating a suction force that pulls the prey underneath the body. This form of whole-body suction is analogous to the buccal suction feeding performed by ray-finned fish. Stingrays exhibit a wide range of colors and patterns on their dorsal surface to help them camouflage with the sandy bottom. Some stingrays can even change color over the course of several days to adjust to new habitats. Since their mouths are on the side of their bodies, they catch their prey, then crush and eat with their powerful jaws. Like its shark relatives, the stingray is outfitted with electrical sensors called ampullae of Lorenzini. Located around the stingray's mouth, these organs sense the natural electrical charges of potential prey. Many rays have jaw teeth to enable them to crush mollusks, such as clams, oysters, and mussels. Most stingrays feed primarily on mollusks, crustaceans, and occasionally on small fish. Freshwater stingrays in the Amazon feed on insects and break down their tough exoskeletons with mammal-like chewing motions. Large pelagic rays like the manta use ram feeding to consume vast quantities of plankton and have been seen swimming in acrobatic patterns through plankton patches. Stingrays are not usually aggressive and attack humans only when provoked, as when a ray is accidentally stepped on. Contact with the stinger causes pain, swelling, muscle cramps from the venom, and leading to infection from bacteria or fungi. Is seldom life-threatening unless the stinger pierces a vital area such a lung or directly hits onto an arterial, causing venom sent in the bloodstream in a very fast flow compared to the peripheral vein. The barb usually breaks off in the wound, and surgery may be required to remove the fragments. Rays are edible and may be caught as food using fishing lines or spears. Stingray recipes abound throughout the world, with dried forms of the wings being most common. Here in Singapore, stingray is commonly grilled over charcoal, then served with spicy salmon sauce or soy sauce. The stingray wings are the most common part used, as in our local dish. The rest of the ray is considered too rubbery to have any culinary uses. Stingrays are usually very docile and curious, their usual reaction being to flee any disturbance, but they sometimes brush their fins past any new object they encounter. Nevertheless, certain larger species may be more aggressive and should be approached with caution, as the stingray's defensive reflex may result in serious injury or death. The skin of the ray is used as an underlayer for the cord or leather wrap on Japanese swords due to its hard, rough skin texture that keeps the braided wrap from sliding on the handle during use. If you like what I am doing, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Feel free to drop a comment down below or request on the next sea creature you like to see on this channel.